Suggestive text has its own uniqueness in matter of its composition. Apparently, it has one meaning. A close and intensive reading opens deeper meaning of text. The writer of suggestive text needs to be skillful enough in matter of selecting vocabulary, adjectives, and adverbs. The use of simile and metaphor is abundant in such text. Narrative text. Jane Oakhill and her companion have rightly defined text. A narrative text concern characters and their action, their mental state, emotion, their interactions with the other in the text, and so with the physical world of narrative, and have narrative point of view. In narrative text, actions and reactions of characters, their mental condition and emotion are fictionalized. In this small world of narrative text, character interact with one another, sometimes inside or outside text. Expository text. Expository text is composed with the purpose of informing or exposing the same. Expository text emphasizes on writing style, chronology of description, structural aspect, comparison and contrast, etc. Mayer and Friedel have defined expository text in following way. Informational or expository text can follow a range of structures such as description, sequence, compare and contrast, problem and solution, and cause and effect, and often a text will combine two or more of these structures. Descriptive text. A descriptive text comprises many episode and description which have visual effect in mind of reader. In descriptive text, description of things, beings and subject occupy the center. As description is the key, language plays vital role. Language must bring transparency of the ideas. Usually descriptive text emphasize on very simple language. In descriptive text, any general subject can become the subject of description. Subjects are equally important in descriptive text as the ideas. Empirical text has some general characteristics. Empirical text is completely scientific text. Such text records the knowledge which is the product of consistent observation. Acquired knowledge is the key to empirical text. Acquired knowledge and observation are equally important. Empirical text is easily comprehensible and perfect. As knowledge and information are important, sentence formation and language are very easy and animated. Ethnography. Ethnography provides all-round information of an ethnic group and race. Ethnographic text becomes very important in study of subject like anthropology. Ethnographical text inform us about ethnic group or race, the people, their environment, evolution, residence, livelihood, occupation, position of men and women, education, financial condition, belief, religion, ritual and superstition, etc. The successful condition of anthropological research is almost impossible without ethnographical text. Policy document is a type of text which is designed to conduct administrative activities correctly in an controlled way. Company and agency usually develop such policy document. Suppose you buy a uh, stopwatch from the market. Policy document notes the maximum duration of warranty period. It is also mentioned when such coverage and service end. Companies or agencies develop such policy document to run their business successfully for long. Policy document meets many demands. It has its own unique way of composition. Field notes are prepared to conduct a research work successfully with expected result. Field notes are really popular down the ages. During conduction of research work, everything cannot be found always in written form again. There are many written records which appear old and backdated and out of use. Thereby, preparation of field notes become important and necessary. Field notes are self-conducted information gathering sheet which are done to transform the research into success. Difference between descriptive and narrative text. Descriptive text is description centered text. Narrative has always a central story. This story is narrated by narrator. Descriptive text has variety of description. Subject can be person, event, place, and episode, etc. Narrated text, the narrator is either based on real life event or fabrication. A descriptive text comprises many episodes and description which have a visual effect in minds of reader. In descriptive text, description of things being subjects occupy the center as description is the key. Language plays vital role. Language must bring transparency of ideas. Usually descriptive text emphasize on very simple language. In a descriptive text, any general subject can become the subject of description. Subjects are equally important in descriptive text as the ideas. Any object or person or place can become subject in descriptive text. Chronological arrangement is another significant aspect of descriptive text. The entire description of the text smoothly occupies the mind of the reader. Complex vocabulary is deliberately avoided during the construction of descriptive text. Descriptive text has some general objective and characteristics. Descriptive text is description centered text. Descriptive text has variety of description. Subject can be person, event, place, and episode, etc. The language of descriptive text is very lucid and lively. Words are selected from familiar field of life. Obscure vocabulary is strictly avoided. The description of such text leaves a graphical as well as pictorial effect in mind of reader. The mind is left with an enamoring impression. Chronology is the key in descriptive text. Known vocabulary easily impress the mind of reader. Complication regarding sentence formation, syntactical varieties is intentionally avoided in descriptive text. Sentences are usually short. Descriptive text does not have any inner suggestive meaning to convey. Adjective and adverb are used pretty randomly for sake of description. Long and lengthy sentences will spoil the patience of reader. Word must always carry an image in descriptive text. Reader needs to remain alert in activating every sense as occasion calls. Implication or importance of different textbook in curriculum. There are plenty of importance of different type of textbook in curriculum management. These are the importance to help the teacher. The textbook provide useful guidance along with which the teacher can plan his day-to-day teaching. It serves as a reference book while actually teaching in classroom. Provide suggestion for some assignments, suggests activities to be taken up in the classroom and outside to help the pupil. For pupil, textbook is the most accessible guide, dependable reference book, and an all-time companion to give the minimum essential knowledge at one place. All teachers are not in a position to dig up facts. Some mature, well-trained, experienced teacher may find it possible to use their outline and thus find it possible to dispense with a basal textbook, but most teachers cannot and should not do it. To help in self-teaching, the tradition of imparting education through the instrument of lecturing has high value, especially when the teacher is armed with special gifts, that is inspiring the gift and encouraging the weak students. Inspiring the gifted and encouraging the weak student, etc. But it needs to be admitted that even impact of best spoken message is necessarily transitory in character, and even the most attentive listener loses any but the obvious connection in the lesson. To provide logical and comprehensive material, a good textbook provides material in systematic and comprehensive form. It also gives direction to further studies to enthusiastic pupil. To ensure uniformity of good standard, a textbook furnishes a common basis on which to master the process of reading, analyzing, outlining, and summarizing. It thus furnishes a common laboratory in which to develop study skills, to provide a base from which both teacher and pupil may start and continue to work. The textbook contains minimum essential knowledge and can thus provide a point of departure for more comprehensive link to provide both confirmation and sustenance. Textbook is supposed to contain the facts which are carefully shifted and examined, thus it can confirm the knowledge obtained elsewhere. Good textbook are excellent teaching aids. They are a resource for both teachers and students. Explain conceptual reading with example. Conceptual text is very shorter version text, only the main ideas are stated here, and there are other some supporting statements. Though the expansion of conceptual text is short, the ideas are perfectly stated in conceptual text. Nothing is said about what is not necessary. Conceptual text has some general characteristics. Conceptual text is very short, generally one or two main ideas are stated. Conceptual text has very brief introduction. After the introduction, we generally come across the main ideas is directly stated. Needless description is avoided. Main ideas are supported by some other statement. Use of complex word is diluted. Language is very simple and free from rhetorical complication. Word selection is very wisely done. Main idea is never digressed. Every endeavor is seen to engage the mind of the reader in the main idea. Engage your mind to a fixed idea, realize it deeply, muse the idea more concretely. Translate the main idea in 2 to 3 sentences. Orient each sentence towards main idea. Arrange each sentence keeping the main idea in mind. Write a short introduction, definition, and chief argument of main idea. Inform the reader about the main idea of your text. To develop conceptual text, reader needs the precision of mind and thinking. Seminar abstract is example of conceptual text. Reading of a conceptual text is completely a new experience. Reader must have the following skills to read conceptual text. Read the introduction with acute seriousness. Internalize the definition of main idea. Orient the main idea with full concentration. Predict the nature of main idea. Realize the possible related areas of main idea.